Warriors wanted to make a move last year with Phoenix. Kevin Durant said, I don't want to play for the Warriors. I don't want to come back.
I remember.
How come? Don't even worry about it. I just don't want to come back. Kawhi Leonard. A lot of interest there. He's in Toronto. Paul George. Larry Markkinen. LeBron James already once spurned the Warriors. Giannis, it looks like, may have just simply been a pipe dream for the last 2 or 3 years. And now another name has entered the fray, Trey Murphy. We've been talking about him quietly for a few years. And then the one guy they did get, Jimmy Butler, but I think we've got to acknowledge that probably the only reason they got him was because they extended him 1 year.
But you got to count the bucket.
Sure.
Okay.
So why do you have any kind of faith, or why do you think why do people think for 1 minute that the majority of NBA stars want to play for Golden State?
Well, I think it's twofold. I think you're cooking the books with that premise because we were told with Utah, and you didn't mention these guys, Marketing and Paul George, that the Warriors didn't want to include pods in the deal. So that could have been the hang-up. But,
Paul George was a free agent.
Yeah. Well, the marketing part. But the deal was contingent on pods, and the Warriors were like, you can't get him. He's our young and up-and-coming. Like, if that were true, then some of those questions you ask me, that
do you think the Warriors are a free agent destination?
I'm going to say no.
The answer is no.
Yeah, there's nothing to back no.
Exactly. So they're not. And I think this idea that we can just pluck stars like it was like from any team. And
right.
What if it's as simple as guys don't want to play here? Because where the Warriors at right now are just in no man's land.
That's and it goes to my guy Horace, who I love.
Why?
Yeah.
Would LeBron? Why?
I'm with you.
Why is LeBron James coming to the Warriors? Why would he come to the Warriors? I'm asking. I'm for one reason.
I'm giving you I give you my answer. It wouldn't be my answer if I were LeBron, but I thought and went to bed and woke up and took showers thinking, okay, maybe his relationship and experience with Steph Curry, in the Olympics was that of one to where he wanted to combine forces, and there was something attractive or appealing to LeBron where he was at with Steph, where they're kind of, in the twilight or the back nine, to where they would go try to get number 5 together. And I forget who called in and said Bron's a narcissist and a killer. He doesn't want to share number 5 if he were to get it with Curry. I totally believe that, but that's why I bought into that being a possibility. But what you said as to why LeBron would look at this roster with him coming in at his age and think they would have action, especially now that Steph has some ailments in regard to the runner's knee, I do think like this is the last play. If Philly, Miami, or Cleveland, like that's not even close. We're not even close to if it were about winning, this being the destination. And I got to be honest, while I was out, I thought maybe, I got it all wrong and he was coming here. And that why would have been amazing to hear why he chose us. And again, he still can, but if it's basketball-wise, it's not even close. You asked me, I told you.
No. So you don't even want him for the right reasons. I mean, we want LeBron James because that's all we have.
Well, you said it a couple of weeks ago, and I hated it. You said the circus that came with it. And I said, what makes the circus a good thing? It's fun. But, man, on top of that, and exciting, comes winning. So I'm thinking right now, as the Warriors are currently constructed, I love and appreciate LeBron James to the point to where I think he makes us better. Is it that much better to where we're not in the play-in? I don't know. But I know he makes us better, and he's cheap, so I would take him.
So does LeBron James want to play on a team with a lot of veterans or with young players?
Young, good players.
Well, then they're out. They have no chance.
Yeah, oh, my gosh. You would think.
See, if I'm LeBron and I look at the Warriors roster and I see 6 guys who all are going to load manage, and I'm going to be number 7, I'm not coming to the Warriors.
No doubt about it.
I need to be load managed because I need to play on a team with young guys who can help me load manage and win some games.
Like the Philadelphia 76ers.
Exactly. Let's go to Frank in Atlanta.
Frank.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, man. Steiny, you hit it. You hit the nail on the head hard. No one wants to play for the Golden State Warriors. I told you guys this last year, and you guys just shut me down, and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, never.
And this is the 3rd year. Nobody wants to play for the Warriors. Nobody's going to sign for the Warriors until there's regime change. It just is. Ever since Draymond Green knocked that young dude out and the Warriors did nothing.
Wow.
The NBA Players Association turned their back on the Golden State Warriors. My cousin works in the NBA and has for 25 years. He told me that. No one wants to play for the Golden State Warriors. You overpaid Jimmy $20 million a year, more than he was worth. You gave him $20 million over market value to accept a trade that he didn't want. That's the only reason Jimmy Butler came here, because Pat didn't want to pay him $35 million a year.
Wow.
And he wanted that money. The Warriors came in and said, okay, we'll extend you for the max. Yeah, I'll come there. I'll love it to death for an extra $20 million a year. No one's going to play. The Warriors could have let Kerr walk out the door. They could have hired Willie Green or Billy Donovan, and you would have been in play for everybody. You could have had Colin Sexton, Quentin Grimes, Anthony Simons, Rudy Hachimura. You could have picked any one of those 2 for the $27 million Dre was making. You could have kept that $20 million that you gave to Tingus Pingus, and you could have got 2 centers. And your roster would be complete, because you could only have 13 men on your roster because you got Jimmy and what's his name? Jimmy and Moses. Your 2 rookies would have been your 12th and 13th players. You'd have been set. But no, you brought Kerr back, and nobody's coming to play for you.
Frank, I'm gonna say this to you, Frank, real quick. And Steiny doesn't even know this, because before I get out of here, we're going to have a conversation about what happened with Jaylen Brown. But I just want to intervene and say how you set that up with the NBA, and I don't know, and you got contacts, but what the Warriors did not do for Draymond Green and Jordan Poole, I will personally, as a lifelong fan, never forget. It never will sit well with me. And when I look at the state of the team now, who I'm rooting for, Frank, I do wonder, when you put it the way you just did, karma, whatever, if this is a result of that, because that still and never will go away for me. It just makes sense when I just step back and think about the infraction, what was not done, and where we are now, and who's still here. You just triggered something. So I'll just leave that there.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell you what I'm going to do for you, Goo. Let me.
Well, you can't do. Yeah, I'm looking
at the. No. I'm looking at the mock draft, the 2027 mock draft.
Well, they said it's already. It ain't.
Tyron Stokes. Yeah, Tyron Stokes. Keep an eye on him. The Kansas-bound forward.
But hold on, the lottery's different now, Steiny. It's not,
Yeah, but when you stink, you still have a shot. Sacramento.
Where's he playing? Hold on, Ruka. Where's that guy?
Kansas. Jordan Smith, freshman going to Arkansas. Keep your eyes on him.
I would not do this.
Caleb Holt. He's going to Arizona. He's only 18, 6'5" point guard. Great heir apparent to Curry. Mm-hmm. Oh, the Warriors are already in this mock draft. Let me see. It's got who the Warriors got.
Oh, man.
2027.
Man, we might get Bron. I'm not even doing that. It ain't over. The Bron thing. I get you. I'm with you. Like, it really is like, really? But, man, when Dre opted out, I was out. That to me sent shockwaves. And then everything that came after that. But here we are about a week later, and it really is like, is he really going to do that, LeBron, come here and pick us?
Sham Charania, hey, where are the Warriors in this scenario?
Joe, I think at least a few, but this is a true free agency process because so much has changed, right? There's the fluidity that comes with it, with information. A few days ago, the Sixers didn't have Jaylen Brown, so now they do. They did it in stunning fashion, and so now they have to be on the radar of LeBron James, and so where does that fit them? And then the Cavaliers, the Heat, they're two teams that are known quantities. The Warriors, going into free agency, they dreamt up a grand plan of Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, but the big domino with them is trying to get a player like an Anthony Davis, so you can bring in LeBron James and Anthony Davis as a package deal. Short of that, they're not really looked at right now at the top of this list, but things can change.
Sham Charania, ESPN.
Oh,
so, if your choices were you don't get LeBron at all, or you get LeBron but you have to take Anthony Davis and extend him at least 2 years, and probably cost you 2 picks.
I'm being real consistent. I would do that.
I would not. I would not do that. I would never do that.
What do you think Steph would want them to do if you just gave it to him?
I'm sure he would want it.
Okay,
but
I hear you.
We're past that point.
Well, so we think.
Well, you are in my. Would you do that, Evan? You get. Here it is.
I think I know
you
his
get
answer.
LeBron, but you have to take Anthony Davis, extended him for 2 years, and it's going to cost you 2 or 3 firsts. In or out?
Absolutely not.
Yep. Me
also,
too.
I don't probably have to sign him for more than 2 years.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be more disappointed if that happened than if nothing happens.
Well, I think people would be excited until the regular season would come around.
Oh, I thought you were going to say,
and we would start out the season, and it'd be like, Davis is questionable for the opener.
But he would fit right in. That's what we got. I got you.
So
I got you. I got you, Stoney. You can sit down. I got you. I was going to tell you this, man. I mean, what word would you use? I don't want to use karma because Frank got me on that. And you know how I feel about the Draymond Poole and Dre it ain't got nothing to do. Yeah, I'll stand up for Poole. The organization deciding that what we saw, America saw, wasn't suspension worthy or no discipline handed down. Forget that for a second. How would you describe your wordsmith where the Warriors are at now as an organization waiting on LeBron James' decision?
Like, I don't think they're in like a terribly worse place than they were at the start of free agency. You said, like, what would you do? You said, what would you do, Steiny? What would you do, Steiny? What would you do, Steiny? I would take Lendeborg, and then if you can create room with that mid-level exception, I was thinking about getting some players like Sexton and Simons or Hachimura I mentioned. That would have been the way I went. Okay. They decided to push all their chips in for LeBron. I'm not saying that's terrible. Right. I'm not saying I would never do that. If they can somehow come up with LeBron for the mid-level exception, go ahead and do it.
Not many chips.
But the other thing is, like, quit trying to convince yourself that you're a contender with LeBron James. Because you know why? That's why he's not coming. Is because he knows even if he comes, you're not a contender. So, okay, you pushed your chips in for LeBron. You may not get him. You don't go the route of Sexton and Hachimura and those guys. Well, now you made your bed. You got to bite the bullet. There's nothing else you can do. You start going into the season. You start playing games. You see if Butler has started to have any value as he rehabs and as the trade deadline comes. You can't move him now, it doesn't seem like. So you got to wait till the season. Like there's no other way to do it.
Yeah. But you're on record as saying something beneath that is if they don't get LeBron, you've called this offseason terrible.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, all they did was draft a guy. That's all they did.
Man.
So, yes.
And run it back.
That's not a good offseason.